Hi, I'm Brett, and today I'm at the SEMA Conference 2013, Las Vegas in the USA, and I'm with Ross Wilson from AVO. Now, AVO being the origins of a really well-known Australian workshop in Victoria, developed a lot of kits and aftermarket parts. Ross now resides, would you say you reside in Japan or Taiwan? Japan. The family business has moved offshore. His brother Lee still runs a distribution business in Australia, and of course from MRT Performance we buy a lot of parts from them, and one of the biggest things that we do a lot of is being involved in their turbo kit, which has been incredibly successful around the world. And with our involvement in Australia, tuning the kits with the Ecotech software, we prefer to use this kit amongst just about any other aftermarket turbo kit. Now, you may have seen a lot about this particular kit in our Project 86 car, which we built for ROHU wheels, where we combined the AVO turbo kit with the Sprintec supercharger kit supplied by Bullet Superchargers on the Gold Coast, and provided something a hell of a lot different. Well, being here at the SEMA show, Ross has got this engine fully assembled. Normally all these parts are in a box when they arrive to put onto a car, and it's a great opportunity to show some of the components of what actually you get in the AVO kit. Now, 3 kits or two stage 1, 2 and 3, or stage?
At the moment we only have stage 1 and 2 available. Stage 3 will be released very shortly, and when we're just about ready to release that, we'll leave more details.
So the stage 1 kit comes with everything you need to force induce the car: exhaust manifold, front mount intercooler, all the pipe work and everything. Optional blow-off valve. Doesn't include exhaust system modifications and other stuff as well. They're all additional parts that AVO offer, which is in the stage 2 kit.
Stage 2 kit, yeah, that's what we recommend is exhaust.
Now, you got to remember these kit reliably runs 7 psi boost, but you can jack up the boost a hell of a lot more than that, depending on how you want to tune it and how hard you want to push the normally aspirated engine. So, just quickly, we'll show front mount intercooler comes as part of the kit. The turbocharger is pre-assembled with the exhaust manifold, which is slung down under the engine in a very similar position to what Subaru do with the turbo diesel and the new direct injection turbo engine, which has just been released. We've already got that here well, not here. We've got that engine in Australia. Silicon intake pipe and all the pipe. It doesn't come with a nice fancy orange. It comes in
SEMA show special.
Yeah, in black. And you've got the optional catch can kit as well, depending on whether you're going to take the car to the track or you're going to drive a bit harder. Because you've got to remember, this kit is an upgrade to a normally aspirated engine. The crankcase breather system in its normally aspirated mode doesn't cope with forced induction, which obviously you're going to get a lot more blow-by, which puts on a lot more load on the crankcase system. Now, a bit hard for Paul. I'm going to ask Paul, can you reach around and just show at the back the oil pump, because that's one of the most trickiest parts of this kit, which was designed by Ross. And this is using some genuine Subaru parts, but it's modified to fit off a drive off the back of the cam on the original factory engine. And this is the oil pump that scavenges the oil out of the collector, which I have my camera in a show round, which is down under here. It's a bit hard to see because obviously it's a bit dark. I'm going to hand this back to Paul again. Not the best way to shoot a video, but hey, you get the idea. And that's one of the really good things about this kit. You don't have a turbo hung up really high to self-drain into the sun. It uses a scavenging pump to pull it out of the collector at the bottom of the turbo, which is part of the oiling system, and then that goes back to the engine. Now, the last thing we want to talk about, which we discussed earlier on, is some of the inherent little headaches that are involved in these engines, of which MRT is experienced in Australia, AVO is experienced in Taiwan with our R&D car.
In Thailand and Japan. Yep.
Now, Subaru, in conjunction with Toyota, are obviously over a period of time getting all the bugs out of this engine. One of the things that we're becoming more and more aware of is problems with the variable camshaft control, because on the front of the engine, and you can see quite easily here, these parts here on the end of the nose of the camshaft are part of the VVT, or the variable valve timing, which is controlled through the factory ECU and adjusted as part of the map that AVO supplied with this upgrade. Now, what can sometimes happen, unfortunately, from a production-based car, Subaru are now onto their 3rd generation revision of a part number with these variable valve control assemblies on the nose of the camshafts. Now, inside that valve control assembly is an oil port which runs on oil pressure from the engine to advance and retard the cam. And what can happen in extreme situations, something inside that mechanical assembly fails and the variable valve control port goes wide open to, what do you say, about 50 degrees, 40 degrees advance, and then effectively all the oil bypasses and reduces oil pressure inside the engine. Now in an extreme situation, if you get a lot of
the
P0018 and 17 code, that is a dead giveaway of the fault with the engine. Now what can happen as a result of that is catastrophic engine failure, because you've got low oil pressure to the rest of the engine. The oil pressure switch on the front of the engine here only triggers at what you said, 4 psi. So by the time that light comes on, damage is already done.
Yes.
And it's actually not related to the tune of the car at all, but unfortunately it's happening sometimes with these modified cars as a result of what is an original problem that would have happened anyway. And the downside is you either end up with a complete engine throwaway, or if you get it early enough, you may be lucky enough to just be able to change the variable cam control pulleys and it'll fix the problem. But we also know in some situations, as you've said, Subaru are replacing the whole ECU.
And so they're replacing the ECU, the cam control sensor at the front of the engine, and the cam wheels as a 3-piece set.
Because as we discussed, it's not just a ROM file upgrade. We believe they're probably
It's more of a
hardware issue with the drivers controlling these electronic parts through the CAN bus interface. So there you have it. There's any other stuff that you want to add comment that you guys doing a lot of R&D on this particular engine?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, we're slowly working on new maps for the race ROM. At the moment, we're never in all of our base map. We don't use anything for race ROM, but in our stage 3 that we're coming out shortly, that'll come out with a what we kind of call a race day map. The biggest problem that we can see with this engine from all the different countries we do around the world is that the car has high compression, 12.5 to 1 compression, with the low octane gas that you've got. So it's a compression versus octane.
That's a real problem over here in the US, because typically in the US they have only 91, 92 octane. In Australia we're spoiled, we get 98. In Japan you guys are even better than 100. Right, and that has a huge effect on tuning and performance, and most importantly reliability.
That's right. So what we're doing is with the race ROM in the ECU tech, we've had quite a lot of requests from customers that want to use their car on the track for race days. So what we've come up with is what we call a race day map. So that'll be for race gas, which will have different maps for different race gas, which it keeps it at the same boost level, but it allows us to run a lot more ignition advance, and we've seen gains up to 20 to 30 wheel horsepower on the same boost level, just with a different tune on the map.
Yeah, and I mean, with some of your testing, you're finding you're running a hell of a lot of more ignition timing. I mean, you've said you've tried different port injector timing.
Yes.
But haven't really got any gains there other than some pretty scary exhaust temperatures, which is something that has proven it's not a lot to be gained at all, but ignition timing at the end of the day, as we all know, is the be-all and end-all of good, reliable performance.
That's
it's
right.
Not just about boost, is it?
No, it's not. With this engine, people are going to understand that the boost isn't the be-all or end-all, because you're dealing with 12.5 to 1 compression. The direct port injection really works well, and we're really happy with the result that we've got. But it gets to a stage where, at the 8.5 to 10 pounds, depending on the fuel octane and the ethanol content that's in the fuels, you kind of start getting the ignition timing that starts getting to the peak of exhaust temperatures. In our testing and over the years, we've known about Subarus that Subarus do not like cylinder temperature. As soon as they start building up cylinder temperature, they start getting pre-detonation and knock, and it just predictably gets worse.
So there you have it, really good opportunity. Obviously AVO are really well known for all the other components of the origins of Subaru. So if you're looking for more information, you can follow us on the MRT website. What's the USA website for AVO, Ross?
www.avoturboworld.com.
There you go. And of course you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. Catch up with AVO on their Facebook page as well. But for today, I'm going to have a lot more fun walking around the SEMA show, getting more information, and look forward to driving on you more information about your car wherever you are in the world. On behalf of Ross Wilson, AVO, Paul from USA on AVO USA, and my name's Brett Middleton. Thanks for watching.